It's Lori from Carnivore Cheer, and welcome to my channel. I know it's been a long time since I've been online. I've had some personal and professional challenges, and so I'm sorry I've kind of dropped out of sight, but I'm back now, and I'd like to thank you if you're watching right now. And if you were a subscriber but kind of gave up because you thought I had stopped recording videos, I hope you'll come back because I do plan to resume recording videos and sharing them with you. So thank you all for joining me today. Today's video that I'm going to share with you is not really the first one that I had planned to make my YouTube comeback, but it's one that I think is very, very important and one that is really important to my heart. So I want to tell you about somebody very, very special. His name is Jeff De Prosperis, and you might have heard that name. Jeff passed away from this life on September 29th, 2024. He had cancer of the colon that had spread to his liver, and it was pronounced to be terminal, and the doctors gave him about 2 months to live. Now, that was about a year and a half ago. Now, when Jeff heard this diagnosis, I'm sure that he was devastated, but there was something in him that decided to give his whole life one more fighting chance, even though he was told he had only a couple of months left on this earth. So Jeff talked to a dear friend of his named Dwight, and Dwight had recommended that Jeff might want to consider embracing the carnivore diet because he thought that would make Jeff feel better in the time that he had left. So with Dwight's guidance, Jeff embraced the carnivore diet. He took supplements. He decided to continue his regular treatment of chemotherapy and other alternative treatments he had already been doing. So in addition, Jeff started his own YouTube channel, and he called it Blessings on My Journey. Now you're probably wondering, blessings with stage 4 terminal cancer? How can that possibly be a blessing? But that was what made Jeff so special, because he was able to see blessings in even the very worst things in his life. So he started sharing his cancer journey that he hoped would possibly end in being cancer-free. He was not in denial about how serious his condition was. He did not sugarcoat it to his family, but he wanted to have hope, and he wanted to give hope to others. And that was something else that was very special about Jeff, because he had said many, many times, I want to help other people. I want to give them hope. And he gave hope to himself and to others. So over the next 30 months, Jeff lived a very full and active life. He recorded many, many videos during that time in his channel, and I continue to be amazed at the title that he gave his channel. He was a gentleman who had a literal death sentence on his head, and yet he was going to look for any blessings that he could, and he indeed found them. Now, what happened to Jeff was shortly after he started the carnivore diet, he did start to feel better. He gained more energy. He started to, just feel more physically active. And after a couple of months, he said he's been feeling better than he had felt when he was in his 20s, and he was in his early 40s now. So in one of his first videos, Jeff had said that he had caused his cancer by years and years of bad eating. And of course, many of us know that journey. I myself have been on it. I suffered from bad eating for many, many, many years with very serious consequences for my own health, including the loss of my colon to colitis. But as much as Jeff wanted to be responsible for what was happening to his body and to his life, if I could have spoken to Jeff, I would have said, Jeff, it was not you that caused that cancer. It was years of misinformation that we have all been fed. And that was what brought you down. That was what caused that cancer. But no matter what the circumstances, Jeff forged ahead. And he produced many, many videos, and they were amazing to watch because here was a gentleman with, very serious cancer diagnosis, but you could see what the diet was doing to him. He was energetic, he was fully alive, he was doing push-ups, he was running, he was, walking, he was driving around, he had a smile on his face, he was playing basketball with his sons, he was going to the gym. I mean, you would never have believed in watching these videos that this gentleman was indeed very ill with terminal cancer. So you just could not help being enthralled and just fascinated by the attitude of this gentleman. It was an incredible series of lessons for me about how to live a real life. And that's what Jeff was. He was fully alive. He made the most of every single second of that 30 months that he had on this earth. And that left an impression on me that I will never, ever forget, because we never know when our time is going to come. Even people who are in perfect health, we just don't know. We could, die in a car accident, or we could fall and, fracture our skull and die of a brain aneurysm. We just don't know. But in watching Jeff live so fully and be so fully engaged with his wonderful family was truly an inspiration. And I'm going to share the link to Jeff's Blessings on My channel, or Blessings on My Journey channel, because it is truly inspiring. And I think you will not be able to watch any of those videos without feeling touched by it. So Jeff just lived an amazing life as he went through this experience. He traveled, he went to Italy, he went to the Bahamas, and he had he made friends wherever he went. And while he was in the Bahamas, friends filmed him, running and playing on the beach, enjoying good food. And, it was just so wonderful to see him focus on the best he could get out of life instead of the terrible disease that he had. And unfortunately, eventually, the cancer turned on him and took its evil revenge and took Jeff from us in September of 2024. At Jeff's Mass of Christian burial, there were so many people who attended, and that is a fitting testimony to the impact that Jeff had. The impact of his positive approach, the impact of the love that he shared, the impact of his personal generosity. It was truly amazing. Jeff's YouTube buddy, Carrie Mann, and Adam Lacey attended that massive Christian burial and shared their experience with us. One of the things that Adam had mentioned was that Jeff loved Air Jordan shoes, and he had a whole collection of them. So Adam wore Air Jordans to Jeff's massive Christian burial service. And I went out and bought my own pair of Air Jordans, and I call them Air Jeffs. And they're men's shoes, even though I'm female, but I wanted to get as close a pair of Air Jordans that Jeff would have worn as I could. So they are a treasure in my shoe collection now as well. So I think the lesson that Jeff leaves us with is that it really and truly matters to give what you can of your heart and soul, not just money, not just physical objects, but giving of you. And that's what Jeff did. He gave of himself in such a rich and wonderful way. His beautiful smile, the way that he spent so much time enjoying the company of his two sons and his devoted wife, it was just very inspiring. It was a testimony to a life well lived despite this horrific tragedy that took him from us. So I strongly recommend that you watch some videos in Jeff's channel, Blessings on My Journey, and I'll put a link to it. Now, Jeff's treatment, even though he gave it all that he could, was extremely expensive, and the medical bills became absolutely horrendous. So Jeff's friend Dwight started a GoFundMe account to help Jeff's family manage these horrific bills and just not feel drowning in debt. So I'll put a link to that GoFundMe in the notes for this video. And if you feel that that is something that you would like to do, I would recommend it. I have given to this fund myself. It's the best money I've spent all year. Well worth it. I wish I could do more to pay tribute to Jeff than just give some money to a GoFundMe. But if I could say something to Jeff, I would say that your life mattered. You made the most of every second. You inspired so many people. I wish that I could shake hands with you right now. So Jeff, I'm going to extend a hand to shake with you up in heaven. I think that by now you probably synced up with my own brother, Jeff, who died when he was only 29 years old. We lost him to suicide. But you and my brother have many things in common. My Jeff had a good and generous heart like you do. And I think that if you are hanging around together up there, that you're probably good friends by now. So I would like to thank everyone who helped us get to know Jeff. I'd like to thank Dwight. He was such a wonderful friend to Jeff. To Carrie, who became Jeff's YouTube buddy and helped us get to know Jeff through his YouTube channel. And all of the other people who helped bring Jeff to us virtually, if not physically. So I feel that I owe Jeff a debt of thanks, even though I have never met him. And I fortunately will not be able to meet him in this life, but in the next life, definitely. So thank you for watching this tribute to Jeff. It meant a great deal to me to say these words. And if you can, find it in your heart to throw something into the GoFundMe, I'm sure his family would be extremely grateful. So I have more videos planned, and I want to thank you all for watching. If this is the first time that you visited my channel, I want to thank you for joining me. If you like what you see, I hope you'll subscribe, and I will see you in future videos. So thank you so much for joining me today, and bye for now.